This will be recorded. My name is Nick Mahoney, Senior Manager of Student Services at ASPPH, and I will be moderating today's event. We ask that you stay muted with your video off during the formal presentation. Using the chat mechanism shown here, you may ask questions or submit comments in writing during any time of the webinar. Simply click on the chat button on your screen and type them into the pop-up box. We will do a general Q&A session after the formal presentations. After the presentations, we will do breakout rooms where you'll be able to self-select your breakout rooms, and those will be designated by our different exhibitors. For those of you who are just coming in now, please just make sure to stay muted. You can also change your layout if you want to see just the speaker view. You can do that by following the directions on the screen. Our presenters today are New York University, Columbia University, Harvard, Johns Hopkins, University of Michigan, and Virginia Tech. We now welcome our first presenter, New York University.
Thank you, Nick. My name is Zach Maggio. I am the Associate Dean of Enrollment Management for the New York University School of Global Public Health. 5 minutes is not a lot of time to present, so please forgive me in advance for talking very rapidly. I'll be trying to give you a lot of information in a very compressed span of time. I want to orient all of you who may not be familiar with NYU or its School of Global Public Health to the landscape here at NYU. So the School of Global Public Health has a very diverse and dynamic student body. Our students hail from over 40 different countries and speak about 40 different languages natively. Over half of them are either international students or from traditionally underrepresented groups here in the United States. And we have been on a growth trajectory in our enrollment. The entire school hosts just over 1,000 students now. That's everybody, certificate, master's, doctoral, full-time, part-time, first year, second year. That's the whole student body. What that means is that in the context of our peers, it's still a relatively modestly sized school and program. So the faculty know the students well. The student to faculty ratio is about 10-1. The students know each other well. It's a hard place to be anonymous, but you still have access to some of the resources and services of one of the world's finest research universities. Our students and faculty work closely together on over 120 different research projects, often through our lab centers and initiatives, of which there are over 50 now, which are opportunities for graduate students to actually work hands-on with faculty members in their areas of research interest or practice. Often students will co-author papers with faculty in peer-reviewed journals. They will travel with faculty to academic and professional conferences to present their work. And perhaps most importantly, they get jobs as a direct result of the work they're doing in these kinds of labs. We're very proud of our track record of putting students into either the workforce or continuing education. You can see here that 11 months after graduating, our students are 94% employed, 2% seeking continuing education, usually in the form of a doctoral degree. And of course, they work in a variety of settings. If you want to learn more about the outcomes for our graduates, there is a resource on our website now called the Career Hub. So I encourage you to go to publichealth.nyu.edu and check out the section called the Career Hub. And it will help you learn a lot more in-depth information about what happens with our graduates and where they go, which is all over the world. NYU is one of only 2 schools in the country that I'm aware of that has the word global in its name. And that's partially because we have this extremely well-developed network of global sites and activities. And you can see here that this map shows faculty research sites. It shows where students have done their applied practice experiences. So if you want to do your internship or applied practice experience abroad, we have relationships with organizations at field sites around the world that will allow you to do that. We offer a wide array of study abroad sites. We even have some opportunities for students to spend an entire term abroad at one of our global sites in Florence, Ghana, or Abu Dhabi. We also have a brand new home here in New York City. I don't know how many of you are familiar with NYU's home in downtown Manhattan. NYU is headquartered in Washington Square Park, which is at the center of historic Greenwich Village. NYU recently bought a building for $215 million, spent another $80 million renovating it, and gave it to the School of Global Public Health for our use. It's at 708 Broadway, which is 3 blocks adjacent from Washington Square Park. So it is the hub of the public health academic enterprise at NYU, and we are very proud of it. It is a beautiful space. I'm not going to read all the features to you, but it has a fully equipped 3-level gym on the premises, locker room, spike storage room, and a lot of student space. We offer the MPH with 9 concentrations, the MS in biostatistics and epidemiology, an MA in bioethics, and a PhD and DRPH program. Here are the areas of study. Some of them are the more traditional core competency areas you'd expect to see at any school or program, while others are a little more unique to us, like the Sustainable Development Goals program or the Public Health Nutrition program, of which there's only a few in the country. We do have some online programs, and you can start in the spring for some of our programs. All of the programs on the previous slide started in the fall, but additionally, you can do some of these programs in the spring. We're fully online, which means you would never need to step foot on NYU's campus. And we do have an option for an accelerated 12-month MPH in global health, if that's of interest to you. Our faculty are accessible, world-class. Students and faculty work together on a lot of projects. We have that network of study away. We focus extensively on how to prepare you to understand the public health workforce and how to take advantage of the opportunities there are. We don't require the GRE. Merit scholarships are available, and we automatically consider all applicants for merit scholarships. The deadline for spring admission is December 15th. The deadline for fall admission is February 1st, and you apply through the SOFIS Common Application Platform. We make rolling decisions, so the earlier you apply, the better off you are. Please be in touch with us at gph.admissions@nyu.edu. Send us your questions. We can arrange for you to talk with faculty, talk with students, to visit our classes. And of course, we're always here to meet with you one-on-one. So thank you, and I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much. We now welcome Columbia University.
So sorry, I'm taking up everyone's time because my share screen is not functioning. Great. Okay, well, here we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Francis. I am the Assistant Director for Admission and Recruitment here at Columbia Public Health. Some quick facts about Columbia. We are one of the oldest schools of public health. We're actually celebrating our centennial year this year, and we're located in the Washington Heights neighborhood of New York City, so up near the George Washington Bridge. I'm not presenting. We also have an enrollment of over 1,500 students and are consistently ranked number 4 by US News and World Report. We are in New York City, so we have a very diverse campus, students coming from over 50 different countries. 46% of students identify as a student of color. And being on the medical center campus, there's plenty of opportunities to connect across our medical center campus and with other schools here at Columbia University. When you apply, you will be able to apply to 1 degree and 1 department. This is very important, and we do ask that you do your research. The most popular program is our 2-year MPH. We also offer the MPH in an accelerated format. There are dual programs as well. We also offer a Master's of Healthcare Administration, a Master of Science, and 2 doctoral programs, a PhD and a DRPH. You do need to select one of these departments, and we do pride ourselves on interdisciplinary study. So this means that you will be able to take classes in other departments other than your primary. But please be sure to do some research. Definitely get familiar with our 6 different departments that we offer, so you are making, the best choice for you. As mentioned, most of our students are coming in for the MPH, and so I just want to quickly highlight the 2 curriculums. The 2-year program absolutely has the majority of students, and that is not only because we are friendly to those who are coming directly out of their undergrad, but also because of this second option in semesters 3 and 4. That's our certificate. We offer 20 different certificates, and this runs along the theme of our interdisciplinary study. So you could be an epidemiology student and pull in a social determinants of health certificate, or a global health, a public humanitarian and action certificate. The accelerated program is another excellent option, but as you can see, no certificate. That certificate really is one of the unique aspects of the Columbia Public Health program, and is what a lot of students do end up choosing us because of. This is just a quick screenshot of our admissions requirements. We are also on SOFIS. That is the primary way to apply. You can also go through HAMCAS if you're applying to our MHA or our MPH in Health Policy and Management. I do want to point out that we are test optional For most of our programs, if there's anyone in the space who is thinking of applying to our socio-medical sciences doctoral program, either the PhD or the DRPH, they will still be requiring GREs. Otherwise, completely optional. There will be a question on the SOFIS application asking you to create a roadmap of your quantitative and analytical experiences. This just helps our committee see where those skills are coming from, because there is definitely a part of our curriculum that is quantitative based. So you want to make sure that you are creating that roadmap for the committee. These are our deadlines. We really encourage everyone to apply by December 1st. That is our preferred deadline. We are and aren't on a rolling admission basis. If you submit your decision, if you submit your application by December 1st, you do stand a very good chance of being in that first round of decision release that typically comes in mid-late January. After that, we will continue rolling decisions out about weekly every 10 days. So please make sure that you are getting all of your documents in, including that verified SOFIS application by December 1st, if not by December 1st, no later than January 15th. We do offer some funding too for students. Please research our website. I will say that a lot of the funding can come once you are a student with us. We offer TA positions, research assistantships. There are additional opportunities for fellowship opportunities within our ODCI office, other offices throughout Columbia Public Health. So please keep an eye on those. If you have your phones out, I do encourage you to take a picture of this QR code. This will actually kick you over to our plan a visit page where you can sign up for our open house dates. Those are live now. We're also going to be doing some more extensive application workshops. We completely understand that the SOFIS application is intense. It's a lot of work. So we can help you navigate through that. We also will be providing tips, not only from the admissions office, but from some of our committee members as well, on things that they've seen come through the last few years and what really can make an applicant stand out. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We now welcome Harvard.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Let me just get my slides up and running here. Great. So it's so nice to be with you all this afternoon. Really appreciate you joining us to learn about our different schools and programs. But my name's Charlie, and I work at the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health as the Associate Director in the Admissions Office. So my job is really to connect with different students throughout the application lifecycle as they learn more about the programs, learning how to apply different opportunities across the school. So think of me both as a resource today as well as later in the breakout session and beyond. But the mission of the Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health is really about promoting health in the communities in which we live, learn, work, and play. And that manifests itself through a variety of different degree programs and area studies at the school. So we like to say that there's not necessarily one type of student that finds their way to public health. We have students from all different academic and professional backgrounds. So if you have an interest in our different programs, there's likely a good fit across your interests and what's offered at the school. A little bit about the school at a glance. We have just under 1,000 students, which makes us sort of a medium-sized school of public health compared to some of our peer institutions. We have just under 70 different countries represented within our student body, which makes up about 40% of our student body from being outside the United States. We don't have quite all 50 United States represented, but folks are from, anywhere from 42 to 44 different US states. So no matter where you're coming from, whether it's inside the United States or around the world, you'll truly be in the classroom with folks from all sorts of different backgrounds and geographic regions than yourself. A little bit about where we're located. So if you think of Harvard, you might think of Cambridge, Massachusetts, which is where the vast majority of the different Harvard schools and colleges are located. But we're located in the city of Boston proper on the south side of the Charles River, for those of you that know your Boston geography. And on the Longwood Medical Campus, we're surrounded by the Harvard Medical School and the Harvard School of Dental Medicine. So it's very much a medical community, different opportunities to get involved, and it makes it a really collaborative and great place to study the field of public health. Similar to some of my other colleagues, we have a lot of different types of degree programs available, just depending on your interests and goals. This is a high-level overview, but Master of Science tends to be our more research-based master's programs. Master of Public Health are more professional or practice-based programs. And at the doctoral level, the DRPH tends to be more practice-focused, while the PhD is more research-focused. So as you think about different opportunities, just keep in mind there's different eligibility criteria and there's different lengths of time programs take as well. Our master's programs vary anywhere from 1 academic year to 2 academic years. So there's lots of great options that we can chat more about in some of our breakout session time a little bit later during today's session. In terms of fields of study, when someone applies to the School of Public Health, they pick a specific degree program and field of study. So this chart highlights the different fields of study we offer primarily within our research programs. Just different food for thought. You can see not every field is offered in every degree type that we offer. So just as you're thinking about what interests you, just make sure it matches up with different eligibility criteria to make sure you're applying to the program that's appropriate for you now, or that would be appropriate by the time you choose to apply to the school. Similarly, different options for our Masters of Public Health program as well. We're excited to announce this year we have a brand new fully online MPH program. It's our online generalist. This is new for us. Prior to this, we've only ever had a hybrid online track, which was our MPH and epidemiology, which is partially online, partially on campus. The remainder of the areas of study on this slide are offered residentially in Boston only. So again, as you're exploring different areas, I know some people are sort of limited by the delivery method of a course, but there are different options just depending on what it is you're looking for. This is a high-level overview of the different components required with our application. We, like so many of my other colleagues, use the SOFIS application system, which is really a common application to make your life easier. I echo Elizabeth from Columbia. It is quite an application, so there's a lot of different parts to consider, so definitely start early if you can to make sure all pieces are received. We are standardized test optional this year. So if that is something that's weighing on your decision to apply to school or graduate programs, that's something you would not have to submit when applying to our school. It is a decision that's been made only for this cycle though. So if you are interested in a future application cycle, please check back on our website for the most up-to-date information. So with that, again, my name's Charlie. Thanks so much for coming today. And I look forward to connecting with you all a little bit later as well. Thank you.
Thanks, Charlie. We appreciate it. We now welcome Johns Hopkins.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for attending today's session. Hopefully you can see the screen okay. My name is Lauren Black. I'm the Associate Director for Recruitment and Events at the Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health. Just a couple quick facts about our School of Public Health. We're proud to be continued ranked #1. We're the first as well as the largest school of public health. As a student of the school, you'll have selection of both master's and doctoral programs, some available online and some on campus, different certificate options, as well as a connection to over 25,000 alumni across the world. At our School of Public Health, excuse me, advance the slide here. Whoops. Again, we have a pretty large student population, so you'll have students connected throughout the different 10 academic departments, as well as our school-wide programs, which I'll talk about in just a moment. Students can connect through student group organizations, through research and teaching assistant positions across our School of Public Health. As students at our School of Public Health, you'll participate in 8-week terms. 4 terms for most of our programs, a 5-term program, that's just an 11-month program for our MPH program, if you complete that full time. And on average, students are taking about 16 to 18 course credits per term. So you're really getting exposed to a wide variety of courses across our different degree programs. And you'll also get support among our faculty that are connected right here at the School of Public Health, as well as have partnerships at the School of Medicine, as well as our School of Nursing. So really that interdisciplinary approach within our public health training. Our students also have the opportunity to participate in research projects that are happening across about 67 different countries, as well as participate in our 80 different centers connected to research, advocacy, and policy work connected within public health. At our School of Public Health, you'll have the choice of different degree programs, including professional, academic and research, and our different fully online programs. Our MPH program, which was one of our largest master's programs at our School of Public Health, typically requires 2 years of post-baccalaureate public health experience. But if you're combining that with a medical degree or a couple other advanced programs like social work and law, that 2 years would be waived. Typically, the full-time program is completed within 11 months, but it can also be completed fully online in our part-time program, which we allow students to participate in about 4 years. On average, it takes about 18 months to complete the part-time MPH program. For those that don't have work experience, we do offer the MS, the MSPH, and the MHA in our professional degree programs. So you'll have a year of courses as well as an internship or field placement in the second year. For those fully interested in research experience, our MHS, our MBE, Master of Bioethics, and our SCM provide students with coursework as well as research experience. Our SCM provides even a lab rotation experience as well as a thesis component. For those that are interested in our different departments, I've listed them here. You'll see everything from the standard bench and basic science areas, biochemistry and molecular biology and molecular microbiology, as well as biostatistics and epidemiology. We also have some interesting departments, including population, family, and reproductive health, our international health department focused on social behavioral interventions, health and nutrition, as well as global disease and epidemiology. We have a health policy and management department, and for those interested in communication work, we have a health, behavior, and society department. These degree programs are connected to the departments. Our MPH does require 2 years of health-related work experience, and our DRPH does as well. Standard application requirements, our deadlines vary, so depending on your department and program, you can just follow our website or ask us questions about that. We also are through SOFIS and have listed here the different requirements for our application. Our test scores, GRE are optional or not required for our program. So again, that's going to be based on the department and program of interest. So you can check with us during the breakout session if you have any questions about that, or refer to our website as well. We will be having open houses as well as other ways to connect with us throughout the year. So I encourage you to connect with us through those virtual sessions, as well as connect to us during the breakout session today. So thank you very much for your time and look forward to your questions during the breakout session.
Thank you, Lauren. We appreciate it. We now welcome University of Michigan.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Mary Beth Carroll, and I oversee our recruitment and admissions team at the University of Michigan School of Public Health. I'm happy to be speaking with you today. Michigan Public Health is pursuing a healthier, more equitable world through education, research, and action. As a graduate of the University of Michigan, you'll be part of one of the world's largest alumni networks. This degree will give you worldwide recognition no matter where life takes you. As a Michigan Public Health student, you'll be able to join a top-rated program with a long-standing tradition of excellence. Our history started back in 1941 when our school was founded. And believe it or not, this is where Blue Cross Blue Shield was created, the National Sanitation Foundation was founded, where even the first Earth Day was held, where flu mist was invented, and the polio vaccine was proven safe, potent, and effective at Michigan Public Health. Our school and our community are consistently ranked as a top program in School of Public Health for the different resources that we offer and the student experience that we have. Let's take a turn now and get to know a little bit more about our community and the city that we study and live in, which is Ann Arbor, Michigan. Our students are really fortunate to be able to live and learn in Ann Arbor, which is a lively college town if you haven't visited. We're consistently ranked as one of the best places to live in the country, and we certainly draw people from all walks of life. There's a place for everyone in our community. And for those who don't know, we're located about 35 miles outside of Detroit, and we offer a mix of small town charm with metropolitan energy. So please come and visit us. So taking a look now at the School of Public Health specifically, if you are interested in research, our portfolio consists of over $80 million a year. So lots of opportunity for that. For a little more context, we're one of 19 schools that make up the University of Michigan. And within our curriculum for our current students, there is flexibility to take classes outside of the School of Public Health. So always an option to tailor your degree to exactly what you want it to be. Looking a little bit closer at some of our numbers, we have just over 1,000 students that are composed of residential and online communities. We have over 40 student organizations, And as noted, we also have a faculty to student ratio of 9:1, where all of our students are assigned a faculty advisor, and we really strive to support our students from all angles. So this next slide talks a little bit about our various degree programs. I'll be sure to talk more in depth about that in the breakout. There are a couple things that I do want to point out. That being that we do offer 2 fully online degree programs, an MS and an MPH in population and health sciences. In addition to that, we have some formalized dual degrees where students can complete 2 master's degrees in 3 years. We have over 97 graduate programs at the University of Michigan, ranked top 10 in the country. So lots of opportunities to learn from folks in other fields. This next slide really just is to get you thinking about all of the different application requirements. I do want to note that we welcome everybody to apply to Michigan Public Health, no matter what your background is. While we certainly have some recommended and required courses and experiences, we very much practice a holistic review process when making our graduate student decisions. This ensures that there isn't one factor that leads to accepting or excluding a student from admission. So if you have questions about that, please meet with us in the breakout room today. Next up here is just some more information in regards to our timeline. All of our applications right now are open for fall 2022. So please go ahead and visit SOFIS or our Rackham Graduate School for MS or PhD applications. And with that, let's stay in touch. Thank you so much for attending today. I hope to see you in the breakout session. There are several ways that you can engage with us and our team, one being following our Population Health podcast, as well as our newsletter, and also through social media. We have a group of about 50 current student admissions ambassadors, and they are on social media, and they're also available to meet with you individually to talk about their current student experience. In addition to that, throughout the month of October, we will be hosting a virtual discovery series where you'll have the opportunity to learn more about our specific departments and degree programs. So please stay in touch with us so we can share more information about that. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We now welcome our last presenter, Virginia Tech.
All right, hello everyone. My name is Hannah Menifee. I'm from Virginia Tech's Public Health program. I'm excited to talk a big overview about our program in this short little session, but really welcome you to join our breakout session to learn more in depth about Virginia Tech's public health programs at the graduate level. So for those unfamiliar with Virginia Tech, we are Virginia's most comprehensive university. We offer about 280 undergraduate and graduate degree programs. We have 37,000 undergraduate, graduate, and professional students. And our main campus for our university is located in Blacksburg, Virginia. Overall at the university, we have a 14-to-1 student faculty ratio. Our program specifically, so we are located on Virginia Tech's main campus in Blacksburg. It's in Southwest Virginia. You can see in the map, and we're small. So we have 112 graduate students total. We have 26 primary and secondary faculty that are dedicated to our graduate students. We are an in-person program, and we only have fall enrollment for full-time MPH students. In regards to our programs that we offer at the graduate level, we offer the MPH in infectious disease and public health education. We also have 2 dual degrees. We have a DVM MPH and an MD MPH, and we also have a graduate certificate in public health. A little bit about what makes us unique. As I mentioned, we're small, so we have a small student to faculty ratio. We get to know our students, and we're there to support our students. All students are advised by a public health faculty member that provides career and academic mentoring. We are physically located in a veterinary college and delivered in partnership with a school of medicine. So very unique, and I'm happy to talk more about that unique partnership in the breakout room. Our signature research and practice areas of our program include One Health and rural Appalachian Health. And our standalone MPH program is flexible for students to be able to explore different academic interests across all colleges at Virginia Tech. Additionally, Virginia Tech is one of 2 public land grant institutions in the Commonwealth of Virginia. So knowledge that's generated at the university serves our communities throughout the Commonwealth. Kind of building off of that, Virginia Tech's motto is Ut Prosum, that I may serve. It's a program core value, and we practice this every day So students and faculty engage in research, practice, volunteer work in our surrounding communities in Southwest and Southside Virginia, the Commonwealth, Central Appalachia, and beyond that. So we are here to serve our communities. We're in our communities more than ever with the current pandemic, but our students are helpful and serve our communities. This is a busy slide. It's our 42 credit degree program at a glance. So you can see core classes. I want to just highlight our 2 concentrations, infectious disease and public health education. Students pursue either one or actually can pursue both. So by name, infectious disease, focusing on an overview of infectious disease, how diseases are spread, and then how we control and prevent them. Public health education teaches students to be able to work in communities. So how do we work in communities appropriately and deliver trainings and other programs that target certain health outcomes. Our professional part of our program, we have students do an integrative learning experience that again builds on our connections to our communities. So students work with a community partner for their capstone or culminating experience that really serves as a summation of the entire public health degree. Quickly at application requirements, our deadline, we have a priority deadline of January 5th and a final deadline of March 1st. We are on SOFAST. So like the other schools and programs that are represented, similar application materials. It's a holistic application process. So we're not just looking at GPA, we're looking at your past experience, your professional letters of interest, and your personal statement. And lastly, no GRE required. We do not look at GRE scores if they're submitted. And then lastly, really quickly, here's ways to get in contact with me as well as our student ambassadors that are happy to talk with prospective students, as well as our website, publichealth.vt.edu, and our social media channels. Thank you all for coming, and I look forward to talking with you all in the breakout session.
Thank you, Hannah. We really appreciate it. And thank you to all of our presenters today. We now ask our presenters to show their video, and we're going to do general question and answer. Please feel free to put any questions that you have into the chat. Keep them as general as possible. If you have any specific questions for any of our institutions, you can ask them in their breakout room. But if anyone has any general questions for everybody, please just put them in the chat. I'll go ahead and get started. Feel free, any of you, to answer any of the questions. I'm just going to throw them out there, and then whoever is interested in answering, feel free to do so. First question is how can somebody stand out in a personal statement?
So I'm happy to start off by just addressing that it's always great to really kind of give that personal kind of story, why you kind of got interested in the work that you're doing, because the personal statement is one of the components of the application that you can directly talk about the program of your interest. It's great to kind of identify how you became interested in it, why, what kind of connected you to the work that you're doing, potential areas within the school or within the particular program that you're interested in, and really kind of how that program is going to help you. Because as reviewers, really looking to make sure that the program that you're looking for has what you need to kind of be kind of the best researcher, the best practitioner within public health, and really kind of highlighting that work. The application is certainly a time to really kind of highlight your accomplishments, and then the personal statement can really be a time to kind of tell your story and your connection to public health.
Great, thank you. And Elizabeth?
Yeah, I mean, I would just echo what Lauren said. I think it's really important. I mean, this is a platform for you to advocate for why you deserve a place in the program that you're applying to, right? Talk about your journey, talk about why this school, what is it about the curriculum, or what is it about the faculty, the student support that is going to help you get to that next step in your career.
Great, thank you. And for our presenters today, there's a few questions in there that are super yes or no, so feel free to just throw them in the chat if you want to respond to them. We'll try to keep these questions as open-ended as possible. What is the best example of a writing sample?
I suspect you may get different answers to that question depending on the institution, but here at NYU, we only require a writing sample for PhD applicants. And in our case, what we're looking for is something that really reflects the work of the applicant. And we can be certain that it's not necessarily reflecting the work of other people who may have contributed. So in the case of like an article or a paper, you really should be first author on it. It's fine to use things like an excerpt from a thesis or from another academic product that you produced for a master's degree or a bachelor's degree. Any good example of academic or research writing suffices. Just make sure it's, it's obviously the product of your sole work, and respect the limits that I think, each institution puts on the writing sample. We at NYU say, 5 to 15 pages max. And that really means we don't want to review like a 60-page paper.
I see a lot of head zoning, so I'm guessing all of you kind of, all right. Can a fresh undergraduate with no work experience apply for an MPH program? I know I'm sure it's different for all of your schools, but just to kind of give some insight to this person.
I can jump in for this one, or I'll start. Mary Beth, I saw you jump in too. I think exactly right, Nick. I think the answer is going to vary a lot from institution to institution. And just words of wisdom to pass along is be really cognizant of how schools are framing their expectations on their websites. Some schools use the word recommend work experience, some use the word require work experience, and some don't have a stated preference. So it's really, really important you do your individual research with each and every school just to make sure you understand their expectations and requirements.
Yeah, that's a great point, Charlie. Definitely do your homework. But also in addition to that, if you do plan to come straight from undergrad, make sure that you have relevant experience that will be applicable and make you competitive against some applicants who may have professional work experience. So whether you're volunteering in the community or you have leadership experience within an undergraduate student organization, or you're doing research, whatever that might be, if you're sitting, here in your sophomore year or junior, make sure that you're taking advantage of all those opportunities so that you can explore graduate school as soon as you graduate.
All right. The next question is, what sort of resources do you provide for people entering the workforce after they graduate?
So I think this one as well will be a mixed bag in terms of what you'll get from each institution. So definitely please visit us in our breakout rooms, because while it might seem like we're all very similar, each school has differentiators, and we are here to help you find the best fit. So speaking specifically about careers and career placement outcomes and those types of things, many schools have specific databases and connections and programming with helping students find full-time employment. Also, schools keep track very diligently, of course, of what those career outcomes are. So be sure as an applicant and a prospective student that you're asking for that. In addition, another thing you might want to consider is asking if those services will continue after you graduate. That's another thing to think about as well.
Anyone else? Oh, no.
I can actually jump in quickly. Yeah. So, I mean, also, here at Columbia, once you're a mailman student, you're a mailman student for life. So our career services team is able to guide you even after you leave our doors. I was reading their weekly email this morning. They're a really great team. They're a small team, but quite mighty. They host workshops. They have upcoming ones for resume writing, salary negotiation, which I think is not always available through all career services teams. They even partner with our development office. So, networking events with alumni. We have one of the largest alumni networks, which is a really strong aspect of our program. And between the career services team, our field practice team, and development, they really do a great job of aiding students to getting to that next step.
Great, thank you so much. We get a lot of questions about the GREs, and I know some of you aren't even looking at them. But first part of the question is, if they do submit them, do you look at them? And I'm sure that's different for all schools. So if you just want to respond in the chat. And then the next question, which I hope starts a conversation, is if someone isn't submitting their GRE scores, how does scholarships work? were GRE scores something that affected scholarships in the past? And now that they're not required, how do scholarships get allocated? We get that question a lot in different ways. So feel free, anyone, to answer.
I can clarify for our School of Public Health, for the Bloomberg School of Public Health, if it says optional, that's going to mean that if you feel the need, like you had some challenges within your academic experience and want to kind of show a little bit more of your quantitative and qualitative skills, this would be a good way to do that through the GRE. So if a program is optional, that means that you can submit the score and it would be reviewed. If a department is listing that it's not required, that means that it's actually not required and won't be reviewed. So so that means that everyone's going to be reviewed in the same way. So going to be looking at your academic experience. One thing too to note is that sometimes students want to talk a little bit about their academic experience. Maybe you had some challenges along the way and things like that. So we do allow, like in your personal statement or somewhere in the application, to indicate kind of any challenges you had and things like that. That can always be helpful for our reviewers to get, a fuller understanding of the person that's applying to our program. As far as, how would scholarships be identified if you're not going to be submitting GRE? Again, just like all those schools on the call, we really do take a holistic approach. So we're going to be looking at all aspects of your application. Most of our application most of our scholarships are merit-based. So we're going to be taking a lot into consideration when reviewing for scholarships. But that's kind of our standard practice at our school currently.
Thanks, Lauren. Anyone else, or just all similar? Okay. What advice do you have for a student who is wanting to reach out to a faculty member, but is maybe having some trouble with that?
Yeah, well, here at NYU, we really encourage, and I'm sure this is true for a lot of my colleagues, we encourage prospective students to directly contact faculty member whose contact information, along with their research and practice portfolios, are on our website, almost precisely for that purpose. And, generally the faculty here are quite accessible and are very amenable to talking to prospective students. I understand that there sometimes is this hesitation on the part of prospects who know, that the faculty don't know who they are, and, they're worried about writing to them and bothering them. And my advice is to not worry about that, or set that aside for the moment, because what you're doing here is you're trying to discover whether or not an institution, is a good fit for you and aligns with what you want to do. An important part of triangulating your sources of information is going to be talking to students, talking to faculty, hopefully, if you can, visiting a place. And so, we tell our faculty to expect to hear from prospective students. And usually, to be honest, 95% of them are very happy to talk to you. The 5% that aren't, you won't hear back from. That could happen anywhere. Move on, talk to someone else.
And I'll jump in too and say that a lot of our schools have a lot of different resources for ways for connecting with faculty, with staff. I know our institution has faculty profiles listed on the website. So if you're not sure kind of how to know who to get in touch with, a lot of our institutions have resources like that to learn more prior to reaching out. A lot of departments also have academic staff contacts. So if you're unclear who might be the best fit given your interests and goals, there's a lot of staff that can help navigate that conversation as well prior to formally reaching out to.
Great. Anyone else? No. Okay. We'll have time for one or two more questions. I see a lot of questions are coming in. Some of them are specific. So if I didn't get to your question, feel free to ask in the breakout room. By a show of hands, how many is going to the APHA meeting in Denver? Are any of you? Okay. Maybe at some point we'll all get back to in-person events. The next question is for those who are thinking about an online degree, do those hold as much weight when you're applying for jobs as an in-person degree?
I think so. I mean, I think what's important, I think at least at NYU, it's always weird in this because I'm speaking for myself, but I also suspect that, I share a viewpoint with others on this. At NYU, what's important is you have the degree from NYU. It is not a distinction in terms of quality or credits even between the online and in-person programs. A credit from NYU is a credit from NYU, and it's backed with the same expectations, and should be a signal to any prospective employers that you have exactly the same qualification as any other student, whether they were in person or online.
And I would just echo that as well. I think students sometimes ask if is the review process the same for part-time versus, our full-time programs and things like that. And the answer is yes. We're, as Zach was saying, we have the same expectations kind of coming in as well as during the program as well. And that being said too, the caliber of education and delivery is going to be the same. So we have a Center for Teaching and Learning that helps to make sure that our online coursework is just to the level that you would be receiving if you were on campus.
Great, thank you. And the last question, then we'll get to the breakout rooms, is what sort of mental health services does your institution provide for students as they are off campus or on campus?
So at NYU, we have a, sorry, Elizabeth was about to say something too. We have a student health center, as I'm sure a lot of my colleagues do, and it's got a comprehensive suite of mental health services. I felt like I needed to speak up because I'm married to, my wife is a psychiatric nurse practitioner who works at the Student Health Center at NYU. So what she does is she sees students all day long and discusses mental health issues and prescribes medication if needed and all of that. And so, you're required to carry health insurance to be enrolled, and NYU has excellent student health insurance that's quite reasonably priced, and it includes full coverage for mental health services, whether you seek them, on campus, which most students do, or whether you seek them in network of the many providers in New York.
Just for Columbia, we do also offer mental health services throughout the campus, throughout the school, but within the Mailman School, we do actually have 2 student support counselors who are able to assist students, whether they're having academic issues, and they're able to triage what the next steps are. So through our Office of Student Affairs, they're a great first step. Even our Dean of Students is able to guide students in case they just don't know what the next steps are.
Anyone else? All right.
Yeah,
Oh, Hannah?
I'll just briefly mention, because we're a little unique to be in a veterinary college, we have dedicated counselors for our students, and we also have therapy dogs because we are in a veterinary college. So we have support in the form of human counselors and dog counselors.
We had therapy hairless cats once. So I'm going to double down on the therapy animals thing. It was a one-time thing though, but I learned a lot about hairless cats that semester. They stay in furniture, FYI.
That's interesting. Well, thank you all. I will give you all some time to get into breakout rooms. We're going to open them right now. If Brittany is there, perfect. So feel free to join your breakout rooms. And if you all, I'm going to share my screen so that you all know how to join them. If you do not know how to join a breakout room, we'll put you in one. These are upcoming virtual mini fairs next week. Here is the breakout room.